a little bit more aggressive here at home, so you don't have to be as aggressive at the show. Good boy. At it. Now just little jiggles. There it is. And just tap him up. And I forgot to mention, I stay here right before I jiggle him. So you might, if you just go here.
No, he knows here.
There it is, Lid. Perfect, right there. And these are just quick enough mixes where you can watch your judge. And right there, that is freaking stunning. I'm going to be really upset, Wendy, because I'm teaching you how to beat me.
It's okay, I'm not mean enough to beat you. I probably won't hold it together.
Whatever, it looks great right now. And then you don't even have to jerk. And then one thing I do in my corners is something Bill taught me, it's called my inside C. Because you have to move your hand to turn. Judges know that. So what I do is I push it to the rail and squeeze that outside foot up just a little, or bounce it up, don't squeeze because he'll lope, and he'll arc, and then that way on your straightaways, you can just leave him alone, you know what I mean? And I would jiggle into that rail, especially him, because he wants to look towards it anyway. Wendy, that's beautiful. And then I would just, before I lope, sit down, jiggle him off, put it, almost think chin in his chest, especially since we're not at the show, and then lope. So his front end is slower than his back end to start. And then smack him up one time. There you go. Kiss. Right there. How's that feel? Looks really good, man. And I know it's more of, it feels like you're picking at him more than what you're used to, but he looks good, and you won't have to pick at him during the show. Like, watch your judge. Most judges just watch a corner. You taught me that anyways. School him up when the judge isn't looking so he doesn't get used to being in the show and not getting work. And then when they look, just drop your hand. There you go. You see what I mean about him trying to grab that?
I do now, yeah.
And you probably didn't
all
even
about him.
And you probably didn't even notice it because he was pushing on that bridle. And so he could push on it and grab it, you wouldn't even tell. But with him being submissive and hooking the way he is, and it changes his movement too. Can you feel how off balance he is when he turns his head like that?
To the outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it now, but I never could before, so that's a pretty intricate thing that you noticed. I mean, I see it now too, but I didn't see it before. But yeah,
That is great speed right there. I like that speed actually.
kind of likes to lay on that right.
And all he's doing is trying to grab it. That's all he's doing. He's not being naughty. And that explains why in the sample, he pushes through this shoulder and he pushes right here. So as you're jiggling him, what I like to do is kick that inside foot to keep that shoulder up as well. Because when he pops that right there, he's pushing this shoulder as well. So it's not even necessarily about his mouth, it's about his shoulder. So just tap on that. There. You feel that?
Yep.
Now he's reaching with that inside front more. Beauty. That was a pretty good transition for him. I mean, his transitions were good. What I'm talking about is pushing through the bridle. And I mean, you can check him off like that. Judges aren't going to penalize you for it. Especially if you go, keep your hand more towards his neck and check him to the side like that. Judges can't see that. That's something Bill showed. There. Because all I saw here, this is all I see. It's not as big as this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, good.
So that's how, if I have to check it for my judge and my judge is watching, I check it to the side. And it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. And I really, especially with all reach out, I don't let him get away with nothing. don't come back, because if you come back, he drops those shoulders. You got to come more up. There. And that changed so much. Did you see a difference in his neck there?
Yeah.
So all that snaffle bit work that he did, he couldn't have done it. Like, he couldn't just take this on him and do this with it. You have to use the snaffle to teach him. Get him off just a little there.
And I was starting to feel that right when you said it, so that's good. 'Cause I missed stuff.
But that's a great, I like that speed, do you?
Yeah.
And I like his low. Did you like his, that speed at his low?
Nice.
And it's actually really slow.
Yeah, it is.
He actually, because of his long neck, he can reach a little better. You know what I mean? Because I know we have been doing this. Oh, that trick. Nailed it, Vic. Perfect. And this will help your hand gallop. Watch your, jiggle him up on your hand gallop right here. And now ask him to go. Try it. Look at this. Now, how's that hand gallop feel on his headset?
Very nice.
Okay?
Plus, it's not as choppy.
Nope, it's not. Good. Perfect. A lot better.
He likes to bend this way.
That's exactly right. And we're not bumping him hard. I mean, we're not beating up his mouth. But if we didn't put a snaffle on him, like Cisco, you have to kind of beat him up or he'll take advantage of you. Make him redo that because he pushed through that. It was a good, his movement was good, but he kind of flattened his neck and pushed through it. So this time when you say ho, tap him up all the way through it. And put your hand up and just keep jiggling it until, there you go. Do it one more time. Does that make sense? So as you're jogging, jiggle him up and tap him up until he pushes, compacts himself into that jog. Now say how. There. Do you feel a difference in that? That way his front end is flowing. Because the biggest thing about this horse is his front end moves faster than his back end. So right from there, you're setting his front end up to go slow. You're going to win classes with your jog. Then push that hand.
I don't say ho to him unless I want him to really stop.
Yeah. I just clucked when I said jog and cluck and he did it. So I didn't.
I just feel but I can tell him a word. I like his walk.
And on my horses, I just tell them walk. And that's just something, like when they're jogging and they're jogging good, I just tell them jog. No, I think he was good enough. How much this video?
I can do it.
Matthew, will you go put him up for me?